Live, baby. Amazing audience, we are live! Live with Andy Wang. The amazing Andy Wang. Now, there are people that stick out. But even before I say that, let me say that we're recording from Mouth Media Network Studios in New York. You should check out a great show about the podcasting industry called The Word from Mouth, which is a lot like what we're doing, right? The Word from Mouth on iTunes at mouthpodcast.com and wherever the best podcasts are found. Thank you so much, Mouth Media Network. Thank you, Rob Sanchez. Without further ado, though, wow, you're real.
In the flesh. Angel Jones in the flesh.
That's amazing. So, some people stick out, right, when you're having so many conversations. And it's simple things. Mostly the things I love to do that would then stick out, right? It would create a memory point, right? A burning of a memory point. And one of the things we spoke about was the ukulele, right? Which in Trinidad is called the cuatro, right? And this guy sent me some videos after and I was blown away. First he sent his video. I wonder if that's selfish. No, when you sent your video with you playing and singing, but it is what it is.
That was authentic. Because that way you could see what I really play like versus the guys that I look up to. That's like a totally different level. So I should send you the real thing first, and then the guys who are up here.
Yeah, it sounds great, but yeah, that was amazing to see you play and sing, right? I remember that like it was yesterday. And then you know, you actually came with your ukulele because it's something I believe is a really great addition to who you are, right? So, I mean, do hit us something. I mean, let's hear what you do on this thing.
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Then you get to play, right? Are you playing today?
I wouldn't play today.
Are you? Yeah, you definitely have to play.
Sweet.
Hene hene koaka, koa lea lea pa'a, heme ama ama wia, for you and I.
Love it.
So is it like the cuatro?
It is, but I don't play this. I play the guitar.
Oh,
so
you play the guitar.
I just pose.
So that's your guitar capoed at the 5th fret with only your 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th strings.
And I don't play the guitar like that, so nothing he said just made any sense. Like I just play.
Hey.
I remember. Alright. Okay, this is not a good idea.
Not on live video. No pressure.
No, well, you know, we were supposed to let the person of least skill play first. And then cap it off. But again, Andy, do tell us, I mean, from the last time we spoke, there's a professional side of what you do, right? But do tell us what you do and any updates from then to now, please.
Yeah, you know, I drove in from New Jersey today, and in the car I had to re-listen to our 12-minute convo just so that I could refresh my memory.
Right.
And yeah, so by day, I'm a financial advisor. I'm involved in a family business. I work with my father, my brother. I've been doing this for 20 years, helping individuals to plan for their retirement or to invest their money. I help business owners with their retirement plans, managing their 401k or 403b. And then occasionally I pick up an instrument and play somebody's wedding or at a party.
Yeah,
or this season's been really interesting here in New York because the New York Botanical Garden, which is in the Bronx, they are having this huge exhibit of Georgia O'Keeffe paintings that were inspired by Hawaii.
Wow.
And along with that, they have crazy programming. Every weekend, there's live music, there's hula dancing, there are artisans teaching about Polynesian tattoos, native plants, all kinds of
What is that
Polynesian tattoos?
Yeah, what is that?
This is like a subject that I should really not speak about
at
all.
Cool,
but
yeah.
no,
it's good.
If you've seen pictures, you know, it's like sometimes like a Polynesian tattoo on the leg. Some guys have half their face tattooed, but the really traditional style, it's not with a tattoo needle like today. I think that they use some sort of old school tattooing, and it's part of the culture. So there's symbolism, there's meaning.
Do you have a tattoo?
I do not have a tattoo.
I didn't think you had a tattoo. Yeah.
Tattoos are so common these days. I feel like when
it's amazing, yeah.
I see so many people with tattoos, I feel like to be truly renegade,
you have
to be a rebel, you have no tattoo.
Yeah, I'll do that. I like that.
So I'm truly punk with no tattoos. It's punk rock now with no tattoos.
That's wonderful. I saw one guy that I met, Joe, and he actually had a tattoo on this finger here.
Yeah.
Well, this finger, which is his wedding ring finger. I thought that was pretty intriguing. It was like the one tattoo I would actually consider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because before playing Hawaiian music in college, I played electric guitar.
Right.
And I was playing punk and hardcore and ska music.
Right.
And my roommates and I from college, we would put on fake tattoos. Which most people never notice, that like each performance you have a different tattoo. And then finally one day, I think it was spring of my senior year, someone's like, I thought those tattoos were real, but those are not real. And there you go.
So you've had your tattoo wearing days, right?
For me, I'm all about, I love a tattoo that is temporary.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of the permanence of it. Because I guess, kudos to those who can make that commitment. But for me, I think that I feel like you're always evolving and changing. And if I had a tattoo, I feel like I'd want it to change and be different, to represent different things, like throughout that sort of journey. But for me, I think that I would need temporary tattoos because I want to change them.
I like the idea of temporary tattoos. No, really. Yeah. Well, do tell me, one of the segments we cover. Well, first of all, we didn't talk about your podcast. Just touch on your podcast, please.
Oh, the podcast has been fun. Inspired Money is the podcast.
Right.
When we spoke last, I was at episode 12, your favorite number. And I'm at episode 44 now.
Wow. Which is 12 by 12.
Yeah. So I'm just not 144.
Oh,
44.
44, my apologies.
But I'm having a blast.
He's the financial advisor. Hire him.
I can't. It's my opinion that, me included, like, money conversations are not the funnest thing.
Yeah.
They're kind of dry, they're serious, so they don't happen enough. So inspired money is really just trying to dispel the myth that money is the root of all evil, and that it's something that we ignore because we do get busy doing our everyday lives. So inspired money, I'm trying to talk to people to uncover inspirational stories that are money related. People who are building a business or giving their money away for a worthy cause, and it's just a lot of fun that money can be inspirational, and money is something that we all have to deal with in our lives, whether we like it or not. So it's like, how can we have this positive mindset associated with money? Because then I think that the end result can be much better and healthier.
I totally agree. Yeah. One of the segments we cover is your own unique real shoes, which speaks about the struggles, right, that you may have had during your journey. What is a struggle you've had between the last year and a half?
Oh, the last year and a half. Well, for a podcaster, it's always, how do you get, how do you get your podcast more visibility and more listeners? Because I think according to Apple Podcasts, there are 550,000 podcasts now. And I think historically, you read what the experts say, and they say, well, there's a lot of pod fade, and there are a lot of shows that either don't last or the quality's not that good. But you listen to a lot of them. You speak to so many podcasters, and truth be told, I think there's a lot of great content out there.
It is.
A lot of great stuff. So we're always trying to improve our game. And so for me, I think that's the challenge. It's like, how do you solicit feedback from listeners? How do you develop community? Because that's how you're going to improve your show. You need that feedback to help you, steer the podcast car and figure out, how can you reach the audience better? How can you tap into topics that matter to them more and resonate with them? So I think that those are challenges that I'm on. I think the other struggle is that it's like podcast and being a financial advisor, doing the work, whether it's a financial plan or investment management, like there is a clear sort of delineation. It's like this is the work that is monetized and generates income versus podcasting. Sometimes I call it more of a passion project because I think that it's great speaking to all these interesting people. I mean, that's how I think that you and I met.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if I did not have the podcast, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
So it's actually beginning to well, not migrate, but combine, right? So it is beginning to combine, which is intriguing.
I think that's sort of a realization, right? It's like the ukulele I bring today. It's like there are all these different parts of you. People tend to be more complex than, what we see on the surface. I mean, I think all of us are quick to make a judgment when you look at somebody or first meet somebody.
Yeah.
But the more you get to know each other, you say, oh, we have more in common, or I was totally wrong, because as they say, you can't judge a book by the cover. So the music, podcasting, working with clients, it's all one thing, you know?
It's jelly.
It's easy to segment, but the reality is that you boil it down and it's kind of all the same.
It's like a melting pot.
It is.
Do you have a dish in Hawaii, like a melting pot dish?
Oh, Hawaii. Hawaii is like, when you talk about, well, two things. Food.
Right.
It's all about the food. In Hawaii, you don't eat until you're full. You eat until you're tired. And I say that in a positive way. And I should also couch that by saying that I am not Hawaiian. I did not grow up in Hawaii. My wife was born and raised in Hawaii.
Would you believe?
But she's not Hawaiian either.
Yeah.
She's Chinese, 5th generation in Hawaii.
Yeah.
But, there are the Polynesian people who were originally, they originally settled in Hawaii. So there are, complicated, there are complications there too. But I say about the food in a very positive way because I'm all about the food.
Yeah.
And Hawaii is this culture where you had this indigenous culture where you had the local food, which originally was fish,
right,
vegetables, and their staple was poi, which is made out of taro root, mashed up. It's kind of like a mashed potato.
Yeah, I think we call it cassava.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the original food, but when you say melting pot, that's one thing about Hawaii. They've embraced all the cultures who have come through.
Yeah.
So it's like the ukulele came from Portugal.
Yeah.
The steel stringed and nylon string guitars came from California that Spanish and Mexican cowboys brought to Hawaii. And the food is no different. All these cultures, whether it's Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, all that food came to Hawaii. So I think the plate lunch is probably just one example.
There we go. The plate
where
lunch.
It's like you can have some pork, you can have you can put 2 scoops of rice with some gravy and some macaroni salad. I mean, it's all the cultures all in one plate.
When you, my friend, heard that this Caribbean guy was coming to meet you from across the other side of, well, not so far, right? Just in the Caribbean Sea, what did you think?
I think it's awesome because my experience with 44 episodes of a podcast is that I've learned so much from the people that I've talked to. I feel like it's making me a better person. So I look up to you as a guy who, I don't know how many you've done, like 1,900 podcasts. How many have you done?
1,987.
Yeah, see? 1,987 interviews. And now you're doing them in person, which is like a total different dimension. Even better.
Yeah.
But
even
audio
better.
only, is already great
Yeah.
because just making those connections, you get inspired talking to people and learning things from people.
Yeah, you do.
And you hear like, how are we similar? How are we different?
Yeah.
And then you meet in person.
Yeah.
And I love that we live in this world that the technology allows us to have those conversations so easily and inexpensively.
Yeah.
That you and I can connect on Skype, and now you're just running all over the place.
Yeah.
So what's the favorite thing you've eaten
So far?
in New York? Or just, I guess, on the East Coast?
I would say Trini food, other than Trini food, because I've had Trini food. So we call Trinidad Trini, right? So I've visited family and had Trini food. So that's been the best so far. But the Deans, Ryan's mother, did some salmon with sticky rice. Is it sticky rice?
Uh-huh.
And what was that, Amanda? Japanese sticky rice. Please excuse me. And she did something else as well with that. But I'm the fish guy in the family, right? And that was pretty amazing.
Sounds healthy.
What else have I had? Pad Thai.
Yeah, I saw your
You
picture,
saw the
of the pad thai.
Yeah, that was great. Definitely looking forward to have that again. And yeah, we've had a ton of food. Yeah, we've had a ton of food. But yeah, those are the things that really that comes back to memory.
That's what's funny, right? When you meet people and you go different places, food is something that we all have in common. We all need food and nourishment.
Yeah, I would love to do a food podcast next. Ryan already said he's in for that, right? He signed me up for that.
With all your free time.
Yeah.
Says the guy who does like 15 podcast interviews in a single day.
Yeah, well, it's been amazing. And again, my team, I always highlight my team that gets it done, right? That helps us get this done. But in closing, Andy, what would you like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, I want to thank you for bringing all of these people together. I think that you've created this family of Angel Jones 12-minute convos family.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, thank you for having me on. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
People can find me at inspiredmoney.fm or runnymede.com, which is RUNNYMEDE.com.
Runnymede.com.
Runnymede.com. Yeah. So if you need financial planning, investment advice, or if you want to listen to see how money and inspiration can actually come together, would love to hear from your viewers and listeners.
Reach out. They can reach out on LinkedIn as well, right? And say, I heard your podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook.
Wonderful.
I'm still trying to convince everybody that when I'm on Facebook, I'm working. Still trying to work that out.
Yeah, and these are amazing folks. Well, you get to see why, right?
And Hawaiian music.
Yeah. We could put it.
If you need Hawaiian music on the East Coast, I'm here.
Boom. Andy, this has been a great pleasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thanks, Angel.
Boom.